All right, welcome to Wednesday Mindset Meditation class. This week we're focusing on flow triggers. Raise your hand if you came to yesterday's meditation. We have Gail and Adrian was there. Cool. So we'll be reviewing these concepts. Morning, Hallie. We'll be reviewing these concepts in skill building all week and kind of building upon it. And the main focus this week, we're using 4x4 breath. So it's a box breathing method to trigger parasympathetic. And we're really conjuring up our flow trigger. So the thing that puts us into flow state. I'll be coaching you guys and walking you guys through, and it'll be a slight variation from yesterday. So if you came yesterday, continue to build on that technique. And where this comes from is in sport performance. Oftentimes when you're asked to do like a really big event, like let's say you're a cross country runner and you're running a 5K, it really helps to map out the race. Like I always would, when I was a competitive athlete in cross country, I would go and walk the race and see all of the little dips and turns and get it mapped out of my brain. And then I would go through and visualize that as well. So as we're walking through our visualization today, you're priming your neural pathways to experience flow state. And that's what we're practicing and skill building on in today's meditation. So before we get started with that, let's just hear a brief check-in of how many meditations you've done in the past 5 days. Just give me a quick number. It could be 1, it could be 3, it could be 5. How many seated meditations? Yep, and just a show of hands is great too. So Tyler's done 3, Adrian's 4, Eric 1, Gail 4, awesome. Wendy 6,
oh my
Hallie 1, and then Dana, you can type in your chat bar if you'd like. So a big reason why I'm holding these daily meditation practices before all of my Steel Mace classes, and I'll be doing this until businesses open up and hopefully get the coaching team to jump in as well. We've got currently 6 on the schedule with about 2 or 3 more coming on. And my main goal is to teach you guys the skills of breath and attentional focus. It's called AT in the scientific literature. It's called attentional training. So when we can use the breath as single pointed focus to tap into parasympathetic nervous system tone, what that does is it allows our amygdala, which triggers our fear response, to phase off for just a moment so that we're not creating that cascade of effects of elevated cortisol, elevated adrenaline, elevated epinephrine. So we're truly learning the skill of how to actually decrease suffering. Because oftentimes when our mind gets in a mental loop of fear state, that amygdala gets triggered, our reptilian brain gets triggered, the fear response gets triggered. And it really does a lot of damage to our central nervous system, our organs over time. It can increase our acidity, our pH levels in our blood. So really, really imperative that we have this toolbox, and every week we're learning different skills. We have this toolbox that we can practice regularly. Thumbs up if you agree with that and you resonate with that. Awesome. So my goal is that you guys are doing the work to undo all of the trauma and damage and fear response that we have, not unconsciously, but it's out of our control that we've endured from this whole COVID pandemic. So we're doing the work to unwind it. Okay, go ahead and mute your microphones, please, and then come to your cushion. And I'm going to be using my Insight timer today. If you have a timer, if you don't have a timer, I highly recommend the Insight one because it's really easy to use, and it also tracks every day. So it gives you like a gold star when you've done 5 days in a row. And I challenge all of you guys to do a 10 to 15 minute meditation, ideally 15 minutes for the next 5 days starting today, and come to the next one if you can. Cool. So everyone's on mute and go into our Insight timer. I'll mind the time for 15 minutes. And go ahead and start with your legs crossed, your hands resting on your knees, gently lean back against your spine. Soften your shoulders, lift the chin. Just assess your breathing before we begin. Is the breathing tending to hang out in the upper chest? Is it down in the lower belly? Is it shallow? Just simply notice the breath before we start practicing our 4x4. Take one more round. And let this be an inquiry. Where in your body are you feeling most bound or restricted or tight? Generally, that will be a place where the breath doesn't want to go, or it's kind of like taking a little detour around those zones. And then where in your body do you feel most lifted, expansive, light, present? And we'll start with initiating our 4x4 breath together. So do as I do. Begin by inhaling to the count of 4. Go ahead. 3, through the nose. 2, 1. Fill up your lungs completely. Top it off. Suspend the breath and hold. Tuck your chin for 4. 3, no air moving in or out. 2, 1. Exhale by the mouth. So mouth open for 4. Keep on exhaling, fogging up glass. 3, 2, and 1. Hold and suspend the breath at the bottom of the exhale for 4. 3, 2, 1. Begin again. 4 counts in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and hold. Suspend the breath for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale by the mouth. Audible breath. Feel the oxygen, the CO2 coming out. 3, 2, 1. Suspend at the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time with mouth open. Inhale for 4. Pause when you reach the top and hold. Suspend the breath. Tone the bandhas, the pelvic floor. Bandha 1, drawing navel to spine. Bandha 2, and glottis lock. Bandha 3. Exhale, mouth open. Really expel any oxygen or stale air out, stale CO2 out. Push it all the way out. Hold at the bottom for 4, 3. Keep on holding longer than you think you can. 2, 1. Inhale, feel that reflex. 4 counts in. Getting used to the cadence of the 4x4 breath. Pause and hold, suspend, tuck the chin, tone the bandhas, put your mind in your pelvic floor. Think about stopping the flow of urine midstream, drawing navel to spine to activate your solar plexus, sealing your glottis. This time, as you exhale, keep your lips sealed and breathe out through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin again. One more time. I'll walk you through the 4 counts. Go ahead. Inhale through your nose. Allow your body to be completely and totally still. Seal your glottis. Hold for 4 counts. Spine is nice and tall. Jaw is relaxed. This time, exhale through your nose only. Minimal movement in your body, resisting the urge to fidget. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Still making a ha sound at the back of the throat. Hold at the bottom. And the suspended out breath is going to trigger you to take a deeper in breath. So we're training our intercostals. Go ahead and inhale. The muscles that line the ribs to take a deeper and fuller breath in. Now on your own, continue to count the 4x4 breath, and we'll do 2 minutes of just that, beginning now, finding our silence, finding our seat of integrity, and really skill building on our 4x4 breath. And as you're doing so, starting to tune into any somatic feedback coming from your 5 or 6 senses, your sense of sound, your sense of touch, your kinesthetic sense, your body position in space, your proprioception. With the eyes closed, your sense of sight, maybe your sense of smell and taste. And continue to hone that 4x4 breath for the remaining 90 seconds of silence. Continue with your 4x4 breath for the remaining 8 minutes of meditation. Use the breath as your anchor point to ground and to continue a single pointed focus of your attentional training. And as thoughts come to you, observe them without being attached to the emotional response. In our next exercise, start to imagine the last time, hopefully in the last 7 days, the most recent experience in your life where you felt centered and exhilarated and orbiting. So centered, meaning you felt completely present in your body. Exhilarated, you felt really a sense of spontaneous joy. You felt able, you felt competent, alive. And orbiting, meaning you are resonating at a higher vibrational frequency than normal. And you might have gotten some feedback from people around you, maybe a situation that you were in. This practice is called CEO dialogue, centered, exhilarated, and orbiting. So start to recall that time, that experience, and start to relive that experience in your mind, activating your imagination network. This could be something like downhill mountain biking, for example. It could be a fun gathering with friends or family. It could be some time spent in nature, outdoors, or maybe in a creative flow of art. Whatever your centered and exhilarated moment is, spend the next 2 minutes focused on your 4x4 breath and replaying that entire experience start to finish in your mind and noticing all of the emotions associated with it, walking yourself physically through what you are doing with your physical body, noticing your spatial awareness, your proprioception, your body and limbs and space, and your interoception, which is your sense of well-being. Go ahead and spend the next 2 minutes focusing on reliving your last CEO moment. Staying anchored with the breath, ask yourself the question, where in my body did I feel most centered? And how did that show up somatically? And just be with that somatic experience. Somatic simply meaning sensation. Did it feel warm? Did it feel expansive? Did it feel open in the body? Tune into that particular region that felt most activated, alive, resonating. And then tune into the location in your body that felt most exhilarated. And how did that feel in your mind, in your back, in your legs and hips, your chest? How did your posture change when you were in that state of exhilaration? And then start to tune into both the centered area and the exhilarated area at once, allowing yourself to map that out in your mind, using your imagination to conjure up those sensations, that somatic response once again. Letting go of the need to do it perfectly and just having glimpses of it is okay. And then where in your body did you feel the most orbiting? And orbiting could be just recognizing your surroundings, having a greater awareness or connection with the bigger whole, the macro. Maybe feeling a sense of gratitude for that moment or for the opportunity or the connection. And stay connected to your anchor, your 4x4 breath. Revisit that one more time for the next minute. Continue to stay focused on your breath, releasing the 4x4 breath and returning to whatever your breathing's natural state happens to be right now. Allow yourself a full body inhale, taking all of your senses of the present moment in. Breathing deeply into the chest, the belly, through the crown of head, feeling connected and anchored to the earth. And exhaling equally. And join the hands in front of the heart. Take a moment of gratitude for showing up and sharing this practice. It's a pleasure and honor to teach. Namaste. And slowly open the eyes, coming back to the room. And use that as a tool in the next hour. So every 20 minutes, you could even set a little timer for yourself. So the next step is being able to conjure up that CEO moment 3 times in the next hour. So I recommend setting a timer for every 20 minutes. And as you're in the task, you're doing the task, you're working, or maybe you're making your coffee or your breakfast and you hear your timer go off, close your eyes, take a moment, be in your CEO moment again for 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then have that timer go off an additional 20 minutes, every 20 minutes, 3 times the next hour. So I challenge you to try that out. It's a really, really powerful technique that can help you elicit that flow state response. And CEO is very similar to flow state, the centered, exhilarated, and orbiting. And I will follow up with an email to you guys today and to our whole cohort of people doing this meditation. It's about 45 or so who have been coming. And I'll send you guys a resource for CEO Dialogue so that you can see the background on it as well. It was developed by a dear friend of mine, Luke Lenentine, based out of Seattle, and he uses it in facilitation. It's very, very effective. Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be checking in with you about how that went. See you next time. Bye.